Hello and welcome you all to AI Ki Pathshala. Today is the 7th session in Pandas Bootcamp, and today we are going to start from where we have left in the 6th session. So let me first share you my screen. And one more thing, there will be some dependency of the previous session in the present session, because whatever the variables we have created in the last session, we are going to use that same variable in this session also. So what I will do, I will write that at the starting of the IPYNB file. I will write that. I will give you some time, so you can copy it from there. You can write those things by seeing and those of you who are watching the recorded session, you can just pause the video and first write those things, then you can move ahead. In that way, it will not be difficult for you to understand the concepts further. So that's all. Let me first share you my screen. So you can see here, I have created one IPYNB file by the name day7.ipynb file. And whatever dependency is there from the session 6, I have copied it from there in this session, in this file. This is the default thing that we are going to import in every file. Import numpy as np and import pandas as pd. And this thing, since we need it here, that's why I have done it here. From string, import ASCII lowercase and uppercase, then letters, then alphabet. And this is a leveled. Let me run one by one. Let me run it one by one. Thereafter, we will move to our main concept. So just run it, just run this cell also, run this cell, and finally run this cell. So what is the leveled alphabet that I am getting? So I am giving you 1 minute of time or 2 minutes of time. So for those who are in the live session, and those of you who are watching the recorded session, I request you can pause the video and first write these things in your program, and thereafter we will be moving to our main concept. Fine. So let's start. So last time what we have discussed, I suppose today we are going to discuss thing called callable. Last time we have discussed something else, and today our main agenda is to discuss callable. So what callable is? So let me first write this thing here. So using callable with dot loc lock and dot iloc. So what this is? Let's first understand. This is, till now we have only studied about the series, and whatever we are studying with respect to the series only. We have not yet gone to the data frame. Whenever we will be in the data frame, we will be discussing all these things in context of data frame also. But right now we are studying only the series. So this is another way to extract or select values from a series. But this one is a little bit different from what we have seen so far. This is also a little bit more advanced. So what it means to be callable? See, indexing, we first understand indexing with callable. What is this thing called indexing with callable? Let me write it here. Indexing with callable. CLES. When I say indexing with callable, it means it is used for highly customizable indexing. This is used for highly, highly customized indexing, you can see. Second thing is that we need to work with this square bracket, this thing, dot loc, dot loc loc, and dot iloc. And third point here that I would like to write, it is a single argument, single argument means argument, that means a function that returns indexing output. What means to be an indexing output? Indexing output simply means, let's say, list of labels, a list of booleans, or a slice, etc. So see, callable is just an object that accepts some argument and possibly returns something back. Classes in Python are technically callable, but possibly the simplest and the best example of callable is a function, because we are able to call the function. Callable is something which you are able to call. So in that sense, in fact, classes in Python are technically callable, but the simplest and the best example is a function. Why function? Let's say our function will take a series as an input. Let me write it here. Let's say there is some function. Let's say I have written some function def something f1, let's say function. So and I have written something. So what happens is that this function will take a series as an input. So whatever argument that I'm passing to this function, let's say f1, I'm passing some series to this function as an input, and it will produce some indexing output. What it should give me? Some indexing output. We will understand this with the help of code. So don't worry, this is just a theory. So what qualifies as a valid indexing output? It's all the thing we have worked so far, a list of labels, a list of boolean, a slice, etc. So without wasting our time, let's come back to the code and bring all these things to life. So otherwise, you will not understand this. Without the code, you are not able to get all these things. So let's first leveled alphabet. We have already created this thing, this variable leveled alphabet, and use loc, and this time I am using this level underscore v, let's say. And if I will run this, I will get this v. Where this v is coming? This is level underscore v. This is my level alphabet. This is level underscore v. This is my basically level. And when I am accessing this level, I am getting the value of this series. Whatever value this level is having, I'm getting this v. Fine. Now, this is one simple way to access the value of the level. Now, I can write it in a different way also. I can access the same value in a different way also. Let's say if I will write level underscore alphabet dot loc, and after that, instead of simply writing this level, I can also write a lambda function. Let me write a lambda function to access the same value. And what I want to access? Level underscore capital V. So we already have discussed this lambda function. So what it means, lambda, this is an anonymous function, x, and this level. So basically what it means, this x is having the value this level b. So technically, both these things are same, because here also I am writing this level b, And here also this lambda function x, this x will be having this value only, level b. So ultimately I will get whatever value this level b is having, I will get that. So if I will run this code, I will again get the same thing, level b. Now let's take, instead of simply passing one level, you may able to pass more than one value also. In that case, what happens? The first x will take that value, then the x will again take that another value, and that's it keeps on taking the value until it is exhausted with all the values. So let me, if the same thing, if I will write it like this, level underscore v, comma, let's say write level the level underscore a. Let's write. So I'm supplying here two level. So this time this lambda x, this x will take this thing and this thing, and correspondingly it will give the output level underscore dot loc lambda x level underscore v level underscore a. Okay. So this thing, since two level is coming here, so we have to give here, okay, we have to give this level inside of a list. So let's put it inside a list. So if I will put it inside, I can give a list of level. So in this case, first this x will contain this value, this level b, and then this x will take this value, and we will get correspondingly the output. Level v is having v, level a is having a. So this is how level underscore alphabet dot log, with the help of this lambda function and a list of level, if I will supply a list of level, this, in this way I will be getting the output. Now all these things is fine, but let's say if instead of this, if let's say if I will give LA B LED leveled alphabet dot LOC, and let's write lambda x, and then pass, let's say, a list of some boolean. So let's write true, comma, false. Now if you will run this code, you will get an error. Let's run this code. I'm getting an error. Why I'm getting the error? Okay, LAMB. Now this time I will get a different error. Now I'm getting this error, and see what is my error. Boolean index has wrong length 2 instead of 26. We have discussed in the previous class also. So when we were using the Boolean, so we have to give we have to give the complete length of the, since it has a 26 length, so we have to supply it a 26 Boolean. Otherwise, it will throw me an error. But the same thing is not true if we are simply supplying it a level. But in case of Boolean, if I am supplying it a two value here, true and false, it will throw me an error. This thing we have also studied during the last session. I suppose if you will remember this, I'm taking it you to the last session so that, can you see here? Can you see?
Sir, I remember. We solved it using list comprehension.
Fine. You remember it, but some of the guys who were watching the recorded session, they might not know this. That's why I'm repeating this. Fine. So you can see from this here, also it will throw me an error. Fine. Now, let's come to this log. Now, to resolve this error, simple way. You can use the list comprehension to sort this error, because you need to give 26 boolean in total. Otherwise, it will throw you an error. So I am simply what I am writing. So I need 26 boolean here at this place. So if I write something, if I write this in the form of list comprehension to get 26 values, 26 boolean values here, so my error will get resolved. So let me write it here. True for I in range, and inside this I can write, let's say, x dot size. Here I am referring x dot size, this size. So whatever be the size of my x, it will take that value in the range. So since I know 26, so it will take total 26. That means A to Z. In this way, I am able to resolve this issue. Simply, if you will not write this, that's fine, but you have to write 26 boolean here. Otherwise, it will throw you an error. So now, taking you to this point, what I have called you used for highly customized indexing, a single argument function that returns indexing output. Now let's understand how this works. So to understand this, let me write one function, simple function. Let's write a function with the name every underscore fifth. This is the name of my function. You can write whatever name you want. This is not a mandatory that you should write this only. So now I want this function to return something. This function should return me. Let me write a list comprehension here. True if I modulo 5 is equal to 0, else false for I in range x dot size. And then this thing. So this is my function. So this function will return me true if I divided by 5 is equal to 0, else it will give me false for all other values which is in the range x dot size. So what is my x? Whatever value I will supply here, that will be treated as an x. So this is, let's say, a function. Let's run this function. Now see what I am going to do. Let's take this labeled alphabet, and now this time write iloc. What iloc is used for? What is the difference? Can you see? Can you tell me the difference of the use of loc and iloc?
Sir, iloc uses indexing with integer, and in loc we have to provide the label name, the name of the level.
Fine. So here I'm inside this square bracket. I'm passing this function every fifth. Fine. I'm passing this function. So if I pass this function every fifth, what will happen? Every underscore fifth. Let's pass this function. If I simply pass this function, so what may happen? Let's run this and see. I'm getting this thing. Why I'm getting this thing? Because my every fifth function is returning me what? Every fifth value it is returning me. it is returning me every fifth value. Let me write it here. What it is giving me? I is divided by I modulo 5 is equal to 0. That means, let's say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. If you index it, every fifth value, it's so what you will write here? 0, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can you see? It is returning me this value. Why it is returning me this value? Because what is the index value of this? 0. So it is, since 0 divided by 5 will give 0, 0 divided by 5 will give you 0. So this condition is coming out to be true. That's why I am getting this A. Because at my 0th index, what is there? A is there. Thereafter, it will check for this condition, but this will not satisfy. 1 divided by 5 will not be 0, 2 divided by 5 will not be 0, 3 divided by 5 not 0. But when it will be here, 5 divided by 5, this gives the remainder 0. This was also giving the remainder 0. This was also giving the remainder 0. So this condition is coming to be true. So it is returning me this F. Thereafter, it is returning me this K, because 10 divided by 5 is also giving me the remainder 0. So these conditions, and this condition is repeating after every fifth term. So I am getting these things. So here I have simply wrote a function every underscore fifth, and this function is returning me this value true if this divided by 5 is equal to the remainder 0, else false. So it is eliminating all those conditions. And now in this level underscore alpha bit dot iloc, I am passing this function. I am passing this function. When I am passing this function, so what is happening? This function is returning this thing. So this basically what is happening? True, true, true. Only true is here, true is coming, here true is coming, here true is coming, and other after every 5 true is coming. Everywhere false is coming. False, false. So it is returning, it is not returning me the false value, because but only the value that is coming out to be true, it is giving me. So that's why I am getting this output. You understood this, Varun?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any confusion here? If you
No,
have
sir.
any confusion, you can ask.
No, sir.
So I suppose this is clear. Let me explain you something else. Similarly, let's say if you will make some changes in this function, instead of this condition, if you write some other condition, let's I plus 1. Let's write here. Please wait a second. So instead of this condition, if let's say if I write I plus 1, I plus 1 plus 1. Fine. And if simply I have changed this condition, and if I run this, and now again if I will pass the same thing here, so now my output will get changed. Why my output will get changed? Because I have changed the condition. This time, instead of taking this I plus 1, it will take I plus 1. So in this way, my output will get changed. Can you see my output is getting changed here? So this is all for the callable. You can use this callable in this way. Now, one thing is that we need to understand that there's one thing called selecting with dot get. One thing is dot selection using dot get. So how you will use this? Let's say if I am having labeled underscore alphabet dot get, and if I will pass level level underscore, let's say I, let's pass underscore I here. So what it will get? It will simply give me this I. Same thing, level underscore I, this level underscore I, see where is this level underscore I is giving me small I. This will also give you the same output. In this way, you can also get the same thing if you will use this thing. Instead of this get, if you use, let's say, loc, loc. But if you are using loc, then you have to give a square bracket. So let's give it a square bracket. If you are using this loc, then you have to give square bracket. So let me add a square bracket. So this will also give you the same output. Now, let's say if you will not add this loc, and if you try to access this level underscore I, still you will get the output and same output. So you can get this, but you can get the same or values when you are accessing it by dot get, dot loc, or simply square bracket method. Now, one important thing that I would like to discuss here. Let's say if you, when you are using this dot get method, when you are using this dot get, if you will give it some level that is not at all, let's say, present here. Let's say you want to access some level that is not at all present in my series. And if you try to access it, what will happen? It will give you, it will neither throw you an error, but it will give you a non-values. Let me write here label level underscore inexistent. So I'm trying to access the level which is not existing in my series. This level underscore inexistent is actually not present in my series. And if I will try to access it, you will see it will not throw you an error. Simply it will give you nothing. What it means, if it is neither throwing an error and it is neither giving you anything, so it means this is a non-value. It is returning me what? Non. My non means nothing. You can check this also. How you can check? If you can simply write is equal to non, and if you will run it, you will get true. It simply verifies that when you are when you are trying to access with the help of this get method, when you are trying to access any level which is not present in my series, you will get non-values, and that you have verified from here by putting it is equal to none, and you are getting true. Now, why this is happening? This is happening because if you will go to the pandas library and you will see the dot get method there, so you will find that by default dot get method is returning me the non values. That means if the value is not existing, if some level is not existing, so it is returning me a default value that is none. So it is an inbuilt thing inside this get method. I will show it to you by taking you to the pandas official site, and there you can see the explanation is written there. Same thing is doing. Let me write here. It's like, if you are using this thing, let me take this thing, copy, and let's say if I'm using this thing, it simply means that here default is equal to no. It simply means this. If you are running this, you will not get any error because this is true. Because by default, if any level that is not present in this series, for that level, this dot get method is returning me this default value that is none. So this is a default none. But let's say if you replace this default none with something else, it will return you that thing. Yes, Varun. Tell me something. You want something to ask? Or is it the time? Okay, fine. I will take care of it. So see, level underscore inexistent. So by default, it is none. I can change this default value. How you can change it? Instead of this none, if let's say I will write anything here, let's write anything here. COULD could not find anything by that level. Sorry. Let's say I want to return this thing. So I have replaced my default none with this value. Now if I will run this, I will get this thing instead of my default, instead of none. Because by default none is written, I have basically replaced that none with something else. So now I am getting this thing. So whenever you are trying to access now any level that is not existing in this series, you will get this thing. Whatever default value, you will set it. Now, let's say if you will, instead of this, let's say if you will write this thing, dot get level inexistent default is equal to, let's write something. Let's write one dictionary here. Let's write dictionary. So if you will write this dictionary, and now if you will run it, you will get, since you have written this in the default, you have written this dictionary. So now you are getting this dictionary where 19 is my key and this string is my value. So what it means, it makes the get method. So this thing makes the get method very graceful. This means the graceful response of the get method. This is the graceful response of the get method. On the other hand, The loc method and the square method is not so forgiving in such scenarios. So this is a very graceful response of this .get method, but same thing you cannot able to achieve in .loc or square method. How? Let's see this also. Let's say this is my leveled alphabet, and same thing. Let's write .loc with the help of square bracket, and let's try to access a level which is not existing. Level underscore inexistent. If you will try to access this thing, you will get an error here, because this is not so graceful as I have already told you as .get method. Simply it is giving you an error, level inexistent. Fine. Similarly, without using this .log, if you will simply use the square bracket method, I am removing this .loc, and simply if you will use this square bracket method, and if you try to run this, again you will get the same error. Level inexistent error. Can you see level inexistence? But the same thing in case of get method, you are getting nothing, you are getting non-value, and you are even able to change it. So this is one advantage of using .get method instead of, in some scenarios, instead of this .loc and square method. So let's say, let me give you a few more examples. Now, if you try to access this level underscore alphabet .get, and let's .get, and let's pass some value here, 8. See what happens. It will give me I. Why it is giving me I? Because if you will count, if I will take you here, and if you count from the beginning, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is my 8th value. So that's why it is returning me I, basically. Similarly, if you will use leveled alphabet .iloc, and if you will pass this 8, you will again get the same value. And if you will use this leveled alphabet, if the leveled alphabet, and if you will simply use the square bracket, and if you write this 8, again you will get the same thing. Can you see? I am getting I in all these 3, because there is no conflict here. Now, I'm going to wind up the session, but before winding up the session, let me give you few questions called skill challenge, and I will give you some time, few minutes of time to solve this question, and thereafter I'm going to discuss this question today. Because without solving the questions, you will not be able to grasp the concepts. Concept is like that. So the first skill challenge question is, let me write question 1. I'm writing all the 4 questions, and then I will give you some time. So my first question is, create a series of length 100, and this is a very simple question. So if you will try it, you will able to solve this. Create a series of length 100 containing the square of integers from 0 to 99. Assign it to the variable square. This is my first question. Now, second question is extract the last three items from the square series using the square bracket indexing. Third question is it's like repeat step 2 but using the dot tail method instead. And the last question is verify that the output of step 2 and 3 is the same using the dot equals method. So these are the 4 skill challenge questions. You need to solve it now. Those of you who are in the live session and those of you who are watching the recorded session, I request you to pause the video, give it a try, and then you should look for the solution. So your time starts now. Solve it. So time ends now. So let's see the solution one by one. See, this is a very simple question. So create a series of length 100. It is asking me to create a series whose length is 100 containing the square of integers from 0 till 99. Assign it to the variable squares. So let's first create one variable squares squares because it is asking me to assign it to this variable. Now, to create a series, first thing what I used to write, we used to write pd dot, then I used to write series, series. And thereafter, we need to pass data. This is the first thing that we used to do. And now, what it is asking me, what data I need to pass, create a series of length because I have to create a series whose length is 100 and that too the square of integers from 0 till 99. So I can create a data in the form of, it is easy to create this data in the form of list comprehension. It is easy. That's why we are going to use this, the concept of list comprehension here. So for that, I shall write I square. This is a I square for I in range 100. 100 will give me the value from 0 till 99. That will give me the 100. That will create a series of length 100. Range 100 means 0 till 99. And it is also asking me containing the square of integers from 0 to 99. So this range function will create a value from, generate a value from 0 till 99. And each one of the values, I will take each one of the values from 0 till 99 and it is squaring this. So I will get finally the square of the values from 0 till 99 here. And this is my data. This will create a list. This will create a series. Now, if I want to see the structure of this series, so how can you see? If you simply write dot head, you will get to know your series. Your series is looking like this. Can you see? Head will give only the first 5 values. So this is giving me the first 5 values only. Now, the second question is extract the last 3 items from the square series using the square bracket indexing. So this is my series. Now it is asking me to extract the last 3 values by using the square bracket indexing. So this is also very simple. squares squares. Squares. And it is asking me to access the last 3 values using the square bracket indexing. If simply you will use the square bracket indexing, -3, that means you are starting from the third value from the end, because from the end the indexing starts from -1, -2, -3, and I have to take the last 3 items from the square using the square bracket indexing. So I am starting from -3 and going till end. This will give me the last three values in this from the square series using the square bracket indexing. If I will run it, I am getting this last three values, but that is 97, 98, 99. You can also use .iloc here because it is an indexing case. So you can also use .iloc and you will get the same thing. Here, squares.iloc, if you will write and use this, you will get the same values. Both ways you will get, and this is a square bracket indexing that it has asked me to extract the last three items from the series using the square bracket indexing. So my second problem has been resolved. Now come to the third question. Repeat step 2, but using the tail method instead. Now repeat step 2. That means you have to extract the last three items from this square series, but this time you do not need to use the square bracket indexing. You need to use the tail method. Tail method is also very simple. So what you used to do inside the tail method? You have to simply write squares dot tail, and then tail means from the end. How many values you want from the end? N. You have to supply the value of n simply. If you will supply n is equal to 3, that means you are asking from the square series, you are extracting the last three values from the end. So you will be getting this value. If instead of this tail, if you will write head here, it will give you the first three values. That what I have. If I have written here head, so head will give me 5 values from the beginning. But if let's say if instead of this default value, if I will specify something, let's say n is equal to 3, or simply if I will specify 3, it will give me 3 values from the beginning. Can you see? It is giving me the 3 value from the beginning. Fine. So this will give the repeat step 2, but using the dot tail method. So your third question has been resolved. Now come to the fourth part. Verify that the output of step 2 and 3 is the same using the dot equals method. See, we have already studied the dot equals method in the previous session. In this session 6, if you remember. So you have to just compare, since you know visually, if you can see my step 3, step 2 and step 3 is giving me the same output, same value it is giving me. So it is asking me to verify the output of step 2 and 3 using the dot equal method. So dot equal method, how you will, so square the first, my second, let's see this thing. Let's just copy it from here. So this, you have to write dot equals equals equals, and then you have to pass this thing. If visually you can see the output is same, but you have to use the dot equals method, and I am passing this thing here. And if I will run, it will give me true, because actually this thing and this thing are equal. So this is how we used to use the dot equals method. So that's all for the day. I suppose, Varun, this is all for the day. So we are going to start the next thing. From the next session, we are going to start a very important thing and very not a boring stuff, but some interesting thing that we are. So we are going to take one data set, and we start playing with the data set. So we will going to reduce the data set. That data set is in the form of data frame. So I will reduce it to in the form of series, and then we will perform lot of operations on it, and we will see how it works. So this is all for the day. So let me first save this code. Then let's commit it. Pandas 7th boot camp 7th session completed. Commit this code, sync changes. Fine. So that's all for the day, guys. Those of you who are watching the recorded session, if you are having any issue, if you are having any doubts, you can ask. You are most welcome to ask questions. You are also welcome to come to the live session. And if you guys are having any other issues, you can definitely put it in the comment section. And if you want to attend my live session, you have to go to the description section of the video and join my Telegram channel. From there I used to put all my live session links and all the materials and everything, and I will give every update about my sessions. So that's all. Varun, would you like to share anything? If you want to share, you can share. Otherwise, I will end the session.
No, sir. It was good session.
So whenever you used to speak, kindly turn on your video so that people will feel related. Even I will feel a little bit related to you. I can relate it to you. So that's all. Thanks. So tomorrow I will confirm you the timing from tomorrow, because I am planning to conduct this session a little early, maybe like from 9 or 9:30. That will be better. Fine. So I will confirm you in the group. Thanks. Take care. Keep learning. Keep smiling.